Namaste and good evening. When it comes to the consideration of the year 2012 and the special date of December 21st, it all evolves around the Mayan calendar. People everywhere are focused on this date to some degree or another. Some people feel we are going to enter a new age, a new awareness, or maybe the earth as we know it is going to come to an end. However, in February of 2006 at a conference in Jaipur, India called Spirituality Beyond Religion, in which participants from over 30 of the world's older indigenous cultures gathered to share, learn, study, and pray together, that is where I met Vacatelu Tu, a Mayan elder from Guatemala, who had few things to say and tell us about the prophecies connected with the Mayan calendar in the year 2012. First, he explained that the ending of the Mayan calendar in 2012 is no different than if someone simply did not make a new calendar after the date of December 31st of any given year. It does not mean that the world is going to come to an end, as some people seem to propose, but that it was merely the end of that cycle, which was not continued in another calendar. He explained that the world would go on and not to worry. However, he was a little upset that when the Western researchers found the calendar, they did not confer with the Mayan elders at that time. Because of that, there was a time discrepancy between the Mayan calendar and the Western time calculations. This meant that the date of December 21st, 2012 may not be accurate and may be off by several years. This means that the ending of that Mayan cycle could very well be in some other year, possibly 2015 or even 2020. But now the focus is on the year 2012. He specifically explained that even though some people are depending on the idea that the world may end in 2012, he hoped that people would not be too upset if the year 2012 passes and nothing in particular happens. After I heard what he had to say, I thought it was quite profound to understand this directly from a Mayan elder. Therefore, the world would go on, and we need to continue with our plans and development, especially our spiritual development. And for those who are putting so much emphasis on 2012 as a time for a grand awakening or the entrance into some new cycle, we still must decide where we go from here. Naturally, if everyone is intent on the meaning and purpose of 2012, it can certainly help the planetary awakening if people try to increase their awareness and their focus on cultural and spiritual unity. Thus, in some ways, such intent can create a type of self-fulfilling prophecy, or at least an upliftment, of social harmony and cooperation. There can be nothing bad about that, and if this is what we get out of 2012, this would certainly be a positive benefit. But still, what happens beyond that? The fact is, whether we give credit to anything connected with 2012 or not, it is still up to humanity to bring about a new era, or what could be called a new species of humanity, a new enlightenment. This new species, of course, will not be based on physical changes, but on the development of a new spiritual consciousness, and the goal of working toward the perfection of human life, both materially and spiritually. This new species of humanity are those who are not afraid to investigate higher dimensions of reality, or new areas of spiritual experiences that are beyond the limitations of conventional, or should I say fear-based religions, which means those that urge the obedience to their principles or rules based on the wrath of God if you don't follow them. This awakening is happening now and is growing all the time. However, this has always been the Vedic process for thousands of years, as we've seen in the process that has come out of India. So in some ways, the new species is but a reawakening of the spiritual consciousness that was prominent in the early ages, such as in Satya Yuga, or what is still found in the enlightened sages of today. Yet this consciousness, when compared with the general materialistic views and motivations found in most people today, is like a new species of humanity. It is the rare type of person who is genuinely concerned about the physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being of all living entities, and who also has the higher consciousness to perceive how to do that. Everyone who is concerned about themselves and the welfare of the planet should be eager to be a part of this new species of humanity. This higher consciousness and the help in this process of spiritual change and improvement can be done by anybody who is willing to participate and sincere. The point of it is, for any real solutions to our problems or social issues, they must be based on a spiritual foundation. However, in the right consciousness, we can indeed make proper use of the things to live comfortably without enmity between each other and nature. And if a new species of such like-minded people act together in this way, it will have an extremely powerful effect on this planet. If, however, humankind insists on seeing each other on the basis of bodily and cultural differences, then their vision is no better than that of those cats and dogs who howl, bark, chase, and fight with one another. I mean, what is the difference? There is no excuse for humankind to remain on such a base level when they have the higher mental and intellectual faculties that they do, as long as they use them. They must rise above the animalistic platform by their spiritual progress. Only through this means will humankind reach a level of evolutionary development in which they can begin to see beyond bodily and cultural distinctions and religious differences and work together in spiritual harmony with themselves, with nature, and the supreme will. It is obvious to many that the forces of darkness are getting stronger as the years go by, especially in this age of Kali as it advances. Moral standards decrease while crime increases. Similarly, the forces of light are also getting stronger, and new levels of spiritual knowledge are also coming into this earthly plane, the likes of which we have not understood for thousands of years. The characteristics between the forces of light and darkness are also becoming more distinct. Therefore, the people of this earth will participate in this polarization and will be required to decide with which force they will participate, either the spiritual and progressive level or the descending and materialistic one. As this polarization increases, the future of the world becomes twofold. One aspect will be the obvious physical, climatic, geographic, and economic changes, which we can already see happening as well, and the other will be more spiritual changes. The physical, the social, and the geographic changes will not be viewed or experienced as so drastic by those who flow into the higher dimension, while planet Earth will display a more difficult life for those who remain absorbed in the lower materialistic and fearful level of consciousness. The Earth will accommodate both levels of dimension. It's not a problem. But the views of existence on Earth will be very different from each level. But which level we choose to enter depends on us. There will indeed be a higher and progressive energy shift, as predicted in the Vedic scripture and so many other traditions, and it is already in progress. Remember, consciousness is not merely a state of mind, but also a vibrational level. The higher the consciousness, the higher your consciousness, the higher the frequency or vibratory level of energy in which that person perceives, understands, lives, and sends out to others. This is the opportunity that this golden age within this dark age of Kali Yuga provides for us, to whatever degree we develop it. Adjusting the level of our consciousness is also the way we can change the course of our future. We can decide for ourselves what level of consciousness we want to develop and in which we want to exist and participate. The higher the social consciousness is, the less severe the changes will be in society and throughout the planet, and the more harmonious things will be globally. In other words, there will be less need of severe earth changes for the cleansing or changing of the planet. Remember, the world only reflects the mass consciousness of the inhabitants. When the inhabitants work in harmony with nature, what is the need for nature to cause repercussions to our actions? When nature and people are balanced, the world will give what we need. Thus we can create a very bright and positive future for ourselves and this world simply by elevating our consciousness. So what are we waiting for? What this means is that we are at a decisive point. There will be a transformed world. It can be attained by force through what may seem like apocalyptic changes or through cooperation by a planetary awakening. Whether the whole population awakens is not necessary. Only a certain percentage need to be enlightened in this way because the power of light will far exceed and overpower the force of darkness or materialism, at least enough to keep the positive changes available for those who wish to participate in them. And this itself can give momentum to the whole change of the planet. Again, Which way we choose to go is up to us. No prophecy or prediction is written in stone, so to speak. Whatever change comes is because of the change of consciousness in the general masses. So let us develop our spiritual consciousness and not waste this opportunity. This is the benefit if we all focus in this way on the year 2012, or in any year for that matter. Anyway, this is a short presentation on what is a much longer presentation, as you can find in my book, The Vedic Prophecies, A New Look into the Future. And so I hope that you'll look into this, and good luck to you all. Namaste and Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you.